your host for today, Miss Roneisha Gentle, and this particular lecture will be centered around the theme trauma, surviving to thriving. And this will be led by Mrs. Deshane Lopez, and we have an informative session for you this morning. But before we go any further, we would first like to start off with the Belizean national anthem. And a very special thank you to Dr. Saunders for that welcome address. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we move forward with the presentation by Mrs. Lopez, I want to give you some words, and I want you to remember these words. And you can say it with me while you're behind your screen. I am enough. I am worthy. I am strong. And I am safe. Mr. Ian Kacha once more will be introducing the presenter. It's still taboo, like you mentioned, and it's one of those things that is a generational ailment. It's not a one day thing to get rid of, and it's not a one person thing to get most of the time, or would you say all the time?
So when we work on ourselves, and if everybody work on themselves, then collectively we start to share that. People notice when you start to change. People notice when you're in your healing process. They may not have the word for it. They're like, you're different, you know. Let's talk about those subtle things that we don't say so that we could have a language for it. Because when we keep it a secret, then we struggle internally.
And that's out of innocent ignorance because they don't know what it is. So the first thing that they conceptualize is a change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we have any questions? Oh, there we go. All right. So Leonard Chavarria said, very informative. I must agree. Also, someone else said, amazing presentation. Love the explanation of small trauma, small T trauma. So many times it goes unnoticed and just things that we have to deal with. Definitely insight from a new perspective. Yeah, we have to do that as well. Wonderful, informative presentation. Yeah. Another thank you. Thank you guys for commenting. Does anyone have any questions before we move forward? And then another thing, Mrs. Lopez, I wanted to mention is the community effort when dealing with trauma. So you have a collective of individuals that don't know what they're dealing with and have never been thought about it. What is the first step in ensuring that we break this cyclical, malignant tumor that's known as trauma and simple emotions, depression or anxiety is so frowned upon today. How do we
So this is a start. Having more education and campaigns about expressing it, educating people about it, because oftentimes we have the feeling, I feel this way, and I have the words to describe it, and so we don't acknowledge it, right? So when organizations, when institutions like the University of the West Indies do talks like this, what it does is allowing people to, oh wow, okay, now I have a word to describe what I'm experiencing, right? So as a community, as social agents, is us trying to educate people more in terms of how can we define what we're experiencing? Because what I've realized is whenever I explain to clients what happens when they experience trauma, they look at me like this. Wow. Right? Just wow. So as to answer the question again, institutions educating people about what is trauma, creating a terminology for it will help people. They will understand. And then also highlighting where they can access service from.
said, I love the emphasis on small things. Oftentimes, clients think that their issue is so small compared to others that it is nothing. That sometimes something is wrong with them for feeling affected by these small T's. So people are out there feeling that they have feelings.
Yes. Because whenever we talk about trauma, we think the big traumas, the big events. We don't talk about the small, we don't talk about the subtle things. But the thing about the body is the body doesn't differentiate if it's a big T or a small T. The body feels it all, right? The brain responds in that same way.
Okay, and now the thank you from Mr. Jamil Spa. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. I believe there was a bit of audio issues. So, for those of you who did not hear it, we were relaxing and we were doing some muscle and breathing exercises to ensure that we are one with ourselves first. So, one more time for the road, all right? We're going to drop our shoulders, tilt our heads, and we're going to take some deep breaths in and out. This is the important part where you want to realize what exactly is the issue within yourself. And like I mentioned, targeting that and accepting that will ultimately eradicate the community and societal negatives that we have when it comes to psychology and trauma. One more thing before I go. You remember those phrases that we mentioned at the beginning and in the middle? I want you to say it with me one last time. I am enough. I am worthy. I am strong. And I am safe. This has been the UWI Open Campus Belize lecture number 1 on surviving societal trauma. It was presented by Mrs. Deshane Gutierrez Lopez and hosted by yours truly, Miss Roneisha Gentle. Until next time, stay safe, all of you, and thank you for joining us.